What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Let's Talk Wrestling episode 5. Today I am going to be covering Raw on its move to Netflix, a huge industry changing deal that sees Monday Night Raw move to Netflix for $5 billion over the span of 10 years, I think it is. And yeah, today I'm just going to be talking about my thoughts on Raw, what could happen and how I see it going moving forward. But yeah, in the ring right now you are seeing a whole group of wrestlers that could be involved in Raw. We know are already going to be involved in Raw. Current Raw superstars, future Raw superstars potentially. Because obviously we know we are in the transfer window sort of time, the trade window, where the general managers Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce can make trades between brands and figure out their rosters and such. We'll probably not see that come into play until after WrestleMania, because obviously that's when the main feuds come to an end. So you know you're not gonna move anyone to a different brand when they're already in their main feuds. Like you're not gonna separate the bloodline. You're not gonna separate Cody and Kevin at the minute. You wouldn't separate the like Judgment Day and Priest and stuff like that. It's Punk and Rollins. But yeah, we'll get on to all of that. So yeah, we already have 2 matches announced. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which we saw a big promo battle from them yesterday, and then Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. This is his first Raw match in like 5 years, I think it is. Might be even longer than that, because I mean he's not been on Raw in about 5 years to begin with. But I think it's one of his. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, going to be a huge match. Obviously, that's for who is the tribal chief. That Ula Fala is on the line. I'm assuming. Punk versus Rollins is huge. I was thinking that was going to be a Mania match. We're practically getting a Mania match on free-to-air TV. I mean, I know it's on Netflix, but most people have Netflix anyway, so it's like pretty much free. And of course, in the UK, we get it live. We get SmackDown and NXT also live. Probably still won't watch them live. I'll just watch them the next day and stuff like that. But it would be cool to just have them easy to get, not like from BT or TNT Sports, or like having to watch dodgy highlights that someone's put together. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. Looking forward to that. It's going to be weird not having the WWE Network. I like to go on there and just watch random stuff. So it is going to be a bit annoying not to have that whole back catalogue for a while at least. I know we've seen some pay-per-views move across that will become available on the 1st of January. But yeah, 6th of January is the big day. Raw's first episode on Netflix. It's going to be, obviously it's not going to be completely different to Raw these days. It is going to be an extra hour long because we know Raw has recently moved to 2 hours up until the new TV deal with Netflix. It will be going back to 3 hours, I'm pretty sure, with adverts, but you know, that's what you expect. So yeah, 3-hour Raw. It's not going to be like Attitude Era sort of stuff. They might be TV-14 like NXT is now, but it won't be rated R or anything like that. I'd imagine it'd still be mostly PG. You know, they'll be able to get away with more stuff than they do on normal TV, so it will be good. And obviously Netflix are pushing for the big names. Like you can see some here. Obviously we're going to get the whole bloodline. Cody is, as the face of the company, is going to move across, which has its permeations or whatever you call it on the World Heavyweight title, because then Gunther has to move across to SmackDown, which means Ludwig Kaiser probably moves across to SmackDown with Braun Breaker in the middle there, one of his main feuds at the minute. So you're assuming Ludwig Kaiser isn't going to win the IC title up until then, unless he drops it quickly. Probably won't win it. He could be in with a better chance at the US title over on SmackDown with Shinsuke, but that leaves Sheamus more open to win the IC title. So, you know, everything plays a part. Then that means like John Cena has a good chance of winning the world title, the World Heavyweight Championship, more chance than winning the WWE Championship, I think. So that means we could see John Cena more on SmackDown than on Raw as well. Obviously, first few months up until WrestleMania, he's going to be on Raw. He's going to be on the debut episode. I mean, I'm assuming, but I'm sure that's been pretty much confirmed. He'll definitely be on the debut episode. Another guy, another huge guy that could be on these episodes is The Rock. I know WWE are acting and planning as of right now for The Rock not to be at WrestleMania and just, you know, carrying on like he won't be there. I think he will be there. His last movie bombed again, which is good for us because it got us the final boss last year and stuff like that. Yeah, I think he'll definitely be back. And if he says he will be back, he will be back. And if he says he wants to do something, he probably will be because he's on the board of directors now, so he has some pull. It also has a lot of different stuff. It means a lot of more for Kevin Owens as well. You know, if Cody does move across to Raw, will Kevin move as well? We know Sami Zayn is currently on Raw feuding with Drew McIntyre. Could we see Kevin and Sami have a final feud together, maybe on the main roster before they retire? Will that happen on Raw? Potentially. Drew McIntyre, he's on Raw for now. Obviously, he's on his revenge tour, just trying to murder everyone that's wronged him in the past. Could that see him? I see the World Heavyweight Championship in his future, which means probably moving to SmackDown after that. You know, I think they do need some big stars because Raw is gonna have a lot of huge talent. They're gonna have Cody, Roman, Punk, Rollins. They're gonna have Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker seems to be a big guy that they're putting their trust in. Sami Zayn, maybe. Kevin Owens, another one. They might still have Judgment Day. Damian Priest could switch away to SmackDown. I think that would be good on one hand, but then he's following Gunther again, and it's something we've already visited, you know. But maybe Damian Priest could stay on Raw, and Judgment Day, who are just over here, who have also recently, well, last night, lost their Raw Tag Team Championships to the Viking Raiders, War Machine, Hanson and Rowe. So obviously they could move over to SmackDown. Damian could stay on Raw. He could feud with Cody. He could feud with Braun Breaker potentially. You know, Punk and Rollins are going to have stuff going on, which I don't know. That obviously we're getting that on the debut episode. Does that mean that's going to carry through to Mania? Seems less likely. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to see it either way. This Mania, I think, is really unpredictable as it stands right now. I know we're a few months out, and you know, once you get the Royal Rumble out of the way, things seem a lot easier to predict a lot of the time because we don't know. But you know, who is Rollins going to face? I would love to see him face Roman, but I don't know if that's the match. Roman versus Cody 2, is that the plan as of right now? I thought Cody versus The Rock was a potential match, but, you know, he might not be there at all. We don't know. Roman versus Cody 2 could happen. I also thought maybe Roman versus Solo, but it looks like they're going to nip that in the bud very soon. Roman versus Jacob is a match I would love to see. Roman and Rollins could definitely go together. Roman and Punk, there's definitely a story to be had there. We saw that at Survivor Series War Games. We saw the favour that Paul Heyman owes him. He could get him a title match or something if Roman Reigns perhaps dethroned Cody again. I don't think Roman Reigns needs a title. I'm in no way saying I think he should have a title, because he shouldn't. He doesn't need a title. He's just held one for 1,300 days. There's nothing a Roman Reigns could do to really benefit anyone, I don't think, other than give someone a huge win, like Jacob Fatu. You know, there is things that could happen as a result of that. I don't know. But I don't think he needs a title reign in any way, shape or form. Braun Breaker, I see him losing the title at Mania, potentially to Sheamus, who's back there, and then going on. I was going to say go on for the World Heavyweight title, but the World Heavyweight title will most likely be on SmackDown. Whether he could follow Gunther over to SmackDown after losing the IC title, who knows, but he could definitely be WWE Champion. 100%. He could dethrone Cody, and I don't think anyone would have an issue with it necessarily, or whatever. We've not even talked about Randy Orton. Randy Orton has a part to play in this storyline. Obviously, he's written off at the minute. Cody's also written off at the minute, so you know, that's a big part to do with it as well. So I don't know what Kevin Owens is going to be like on SmackDown. I would love to see him carrying around the Winged Eagle title. claiming that he is the WWE champion and having that as his own, just to have the Winged Eagle title on television for a bit longer, because it's incredible. It's much better than the shitty gold one we have at the minute, just because it's got a big W on it. That's the only reason it's there. I hate that title. I hate that sort of design that's just there because it's got a big W and it's recognisable. I understand why they need to do it, but the Winged Eagle title is so much nicer. So yeah, Randy Orton, he can feud with Cena on Raw, maybe not. But Randy's on SmackDown, obviously, as of right now. He can feud with Cody. So many guys. He could feud with Drew again. Obviously, over here, we have Carmelo Hayes, who's another rising star. Braun Strowman, who's just re-debuted on SmackDown. I don't know if I'll see either of those coming over to Raw. But one man who is almost certainly coming over to Raw is Pentagon Jr. That is his name, right? Penta El Zero Miedo. Yeah, he's definitely coming. Part of the Lucha Bros, obviously. Rey Fenix will not be joining him, at least at the start, because of that whole injury extension clause in his contract, which is a bit shitty from Tony Khan, you know. I know stuff like that happens, but it's a bit of a dick move, really, isn't it? Yeah, but Penta will be incredible to see in WWE. Whether he phones it in a bit, like some people have said he would, is another thing, but it's another guy, and it's another star to have on Raw. Whether he flourishes in WWE, who knows, but it'll be interesting to see no matter what. We've got AJ Styles over there, who potentially could never wrestle again, which is unfortunate, obviously, with his Liz Frank injury that he sustained, which everyone thought was a work at the beginning, and then, you know, doesn't seem to be. I don't know if we'll ever see him again in a wrestling ring, but I hope we do. Pete Dunne's over there, another guy who could, I don't know, I just had him. I know Trent Seven is leaving TNA, potentially make Mustache Mountain again with Tyler Bate. Could become a trio, who knows? But yeah, there is a lot that could happen on Monday nights on Netflix for sure, and there's a lot that we are going to learn in coming weeks. John Cena will return in just over 3 weeks' time for his final run, which just before that I will be hopefully uploading my fantasy booking of his farewell tour. I did part 1 a while ago, haven't got around to part 2 or 3, but go and watch that and then subscribe with notifications on, and you will be notified when part 2 and 3 come out. I am trying to get to 300 subscribers, so please do help me out if you can. 20 to go. I wanted to get to 300 by the end of the year, but at the current rate, we'll be close to it. Obviously, I don't care. I'll be happy to reach 300 subscribers just in general. But I would like to reach it at the end of the year, by the end of the year. Seems unlikely, but yeah. Most of all, I'm just happy to be consistently uploading, because this is day 17 of my daily December uploads. It's also day 17 of my daily December spots over on Instagram. Today's prompt is tables, which is interesting. So we'll definitely get the tables out. Let's get one out now. Oh, this is Dodgy Jack's one. Oh, it's not even. The legs just came straight off as I try to get this out to do literally anything with it. This is not a good table. And everyone's fallen over. Who wants to take a bump? Triple H can take a bump. No, he can't. I mean, the table broke a lot, but yeah, gonna be posing that and filming all that soon. So keep an eye on my Instagram if you're interested in that. And yeah, that's all for today. Let me know your thoughts on Raw. Let me know who you think's moving to Raw, moving to SmackDown, all of that stuff. I am planning on doing another video on who I think should move and to where during the trade/transfer window. Not really a fantasy booking per se. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will just be a Let's Talk Wrestling episode. But either way, I haven't even shown my Raw stage. I set up the Raw stage just to do this. I like this Raw stage. It's really basic, but it's cool. And my Raw is War ring skirt. So yeah, that's all for today. Let me know what you think in the comments, as well as any other videos you'd like to see over the rest of the month, because we got 2 weeks left, 14 uploads to go. So yeah, I can definitely squeeze a few more in if you have any suggestions. So that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.